So, I'm making a quick video just to give you an update. Let's see, I'm going to turn on my headlamp. I got the valve out. I stuffed it to try to protect it because I'm going at the carbon deposits with my Dremel. I know I should be using a brass one, so that's why I covered up the port right there for the intake valve, because I need to make sure that I lap that with the new valve so that it actually, is at the same pitch and everything and seals right. And I don't want to hit it with something hard because that's going to leave scoring marks on it. I watched a video of a guy. He said to make sure you don't go at it at an angle like that. If you do, get a brass, thing in a Dremel to go at it this way in a cylindrical fashion, so that your score marks, if it does leave any, go that way. That's what you do when you're cleaning it. And he didn't use anything crazy except for carb cleaner, which I'm out of. I have like a whole freaking 5-gallon thing of acetone, but I'm not going to hit it with acetone yet until I'm ready to put the gasket on. But he used, mainly to clean off the carbon deposits, good old-fashioned WD. And so I realized that one right there cleaned up really well because I just had like oil and shit on it. I'm like, alright, well, that was the last thing I did before I took off the cylinder heads. I tried to check the compression with a little bit of oil in it, and it didn't work, obviously. But the oil on there was breaking up the deposits on it really well, because these ones right here, I caked on deposit. Like you can kind of see some of it crusted up still there on the edge. And I went at it, I tried to clean these with the Dremel just a little bit, but I didn't have them like soaking in the WD. Now I'm soaking them in the WD, and I'm going to go at them again, and I'll show you an after photo. I'm also, like, this nut and that nut do not look as good as, let's say, this nut and this one. And that one looks like the best. These two came out. Now I ordered 10 new ones, I don't know, because I couldn't get 8. It was like you could get 1, 3, 5, or 10. And so I was like, well, fuck, I need 8 of them. I'll just order 10 from China for like, I don't know, like $1 a piece, even less than $1 a piece. They're like 79 cents a piece, so it cost me $6, and I got 10 of them coming. I believe the exhaust nuts were 30 millimeters long, and it's an 8 millimeter nut, and it was 1.25 pitch, I believe, 1.25 pitch, because I stuck my my tap set on it, or my die set or whatever, and I tested it with one of these ones that I had here that was in really good condition, and I think a 1.25 was what it was. I did fuck this one up, but so whatever they are what they are. I'm pretty sure they're the right pitch, because they're exhaust stud kind of nuts or whatever. I bought them from my other bikes, and they worked out pretty good when I needed new studs in there. And I'm only going to replace the ones that look really bad, because frankly, this is where the nut was, and it protected it. Behind it here, it got all fucked up and corroded, and I just don't like that. But I'm having a little bit of trouble doing the double nut method to, put one on and then put another one behind it, because this one right here won't get any tension, and I can't get them to lock together very well. So I'm going to try this, and I'm going to follow up later to let you know if it worked. I put Loctite on that bitch this time. And I don't even care if I can't get it off. I'll torch the bitch if I have to get the nut back off, because it still works. The ones that are in there will still work, but I really want to get that out and see if I can replace it. I've been gassing it with penetrating oil for a while. I'm gonna do that one again, just because PV blaster. They say you still got to do that if you want to try to get them out. Hell, I'll do all of them while I'm fucking sitting here. Just a little bit of good. That one looks really good. I don't think I'm gonna do that one. But I'd like to put new ones in. So if that doesn't work, then I'm debating. Try the stud extractor. I'm gonna go buy one of those ratcheting high impact ones, because I have an impact wrench, and might go for it. I might go for it, man. That's gonna wreck the threads on it, I heard, because it just it clamps on it like a drill chuck, But I'll probably be able to get it out with that. I'll just have to make sure that this fin right here won't get wrecked when I'm near it, because I don't know how big the the face of it is. So that might be another issue. That might mean I'm not going to try to do that. But if the Loctite works, then everybody just learned something cool. So I'm also sticking WD on the tops of the cylinder heads so I can clean them off. That one down there had the oil on it, and it's like way cleaner. Yeah, that one right there, because it had the oil on it, it got cleaned, you know. Maybe it should be a thing to put oil in your cylinder heads. I did do seafoam in my cylinder heads on some of my bikes, but I wasn't going to do that on this one because it wasn't running good. You don't want to put seafoam through your spark plug holes into your cylinder head unless you're sure that the thing was starting up, running, and kabooming in there, you know, because this one right here wasn't sparking. So you could do that and it would probably get them nice and sparkly clean. I'd do it and it would just smoke for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something like that. But that's something I'm going to do after I get it running, maybe just to get a little extra clean, because I'm sure that would also clean off some of the deposits around here. But by the time I'm done, this will be like a half-assed rebuilt head. So I'll show you the after when I get it all clean. And this one right here, I'm still waiting. It's been about 5 hours or 6 hours or so, but it says 24 hours if you actually read the tube. Red Loctite. It says 20 minutes. It sets, and then 24 hours to cure. So I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna wait 24 hours, and then I'm gonna try to crack the stud. All right, peace. All right, updated. I did the WD-40, and if you remember how dirty and black they were, this is way better. I got in with the acetone and some paper towel and a pretty narrow-headed screwdriver, and I used it with the paper towel and just cleaned around inside the cracks there. I know that the exhaust ones are probably even more important because, you know, if let's say there was some crud right in it and it exhausts out and then it got stuck in it, that would suck. That's probably what happens when your shit like backfires and crap, you know. Or you know, it's if it doesn't close right, if something was going through and it got stuck in there, that probably messes it up. So I'm gonna hope for the best. I'll lap that one later. I just cleaned up around. I did acetone the head. I'm leaving a little bit of the laminate of the gasket came off, but it's like not really thick, not super not incredibly consistent. It was pretty clean right through here, but right along the outside edges, only a little bit came off. And you see it's just a slight texture. But here's the gasket. Shit, I hope I remember which way it goes on. It only goes on one way. This is the bottom, and this is the top, I believe. Yep, that's the top. Right there. So I'm just gonna acetone it. I'm not gonna fuck it up and mar it up and deform it any more than it already is, because I'm thinking that the parts that delaminated are on there. It's still there, it's still good. I'm gonna do my best to reuse this because that's $50 right there if I can reuse it. And I've used it already, some of the high temp copper Permatex stuff. And I guess it's good up to 700 degrees, you know. I'm gonna smear that on there real good. And I know it's a gasket maker, but I'm gonna use it as a gasket sealer. I mean, you can get the spray cans of like VHT or whatever copper spray, and that makes it really, really sticky, but it's a really thin coating. If I can, you know, very carefully put this on here, I think it'll do all right. So when we get to that, I'll do a video on the lapping when I get the tools. I gotta wait for some money to come in. See ya. Okay, my little side experiment I had. I still got the mask on because I'm waiting for my wrinkle coat to dry. Sprayed it in here. I put Loctite on this just about 24 hours ago, and we're gonna see if I can get that stud out. Now, here it goes. Oh no, I didn't do a damn thing. Nope. Son of a bitch. I'm disappointed. Nope. Alright, so I guess that means I'll either leave it or I'll go get myself a stud puller. Son of a bitch. Fuck. Success. I finally got a huge 14mm, but it was an 8mm 1.25 onto a locking nut that I found because I went through all my nuts and bolts and organized them because this place was a shit show. And I fucking heated the fuck out of this, and I torched it and I PV blasted it again. I finally got this fucking stud out. This was the shittiest looking one. I was like really upset because, you know, I hate to think that I got, you know, like I said before, a nice exhaust and, you know, I can't get it to clamp down and seal right because what? I've got stripped studs that are all rusty. I mean, look at that one. That one's like, I gotta get this one out too. That one's going next. That one's going next. These others are all pretty good. They got okay threads on the parts where it won't ever meet the nut because the flange is gonna go around on it. And oh, by the way, when I was looking around, I found some interesting flanges. I think this one came from an RT 180, and this one right here was from a Twin Star. So I don't know if anybody wants those, but I'm a happy boy now. You're next. You're next. So I couldn't get the bolt that I had that I thought was the special thing to get the nut off. So I'm taking a different nut, and I'm still using the lock nut that I found. The other one was a lock nut too. It was weird. It was like a flat one, so it let me get a couple more threads on this guy right here. And I'm torching this one because it's the next one that I want to get off. I didn't torch it too bad because I know you don't want to like melt the aluminum. I kind of doubt that the torch is hot enough to get the aluminum to melt, but I'd have to have it here for like 10 minutes probably to get it hot enough. But you see it's sweating, so I know it's getting it warm. Yeah, it's just barely warm. It's not even hot. I figured I'd do this video just so you can see how long I had to torch it for. I only torched it for like 10 or 15 seconds before I turned on the camera. Not too hot. Doesn't feel very hot to the touch. Crank it up. Notice I'm torching the base of it, not the nut. The whole fucking thing should be crazy hot anyway. Yeah, so I've already cleaned these valves. I think I showed you that earlier. Just gotta wait for the one to come in the mail. Should be back in the mail. Ooh, that was almost hot to my finger. Should be in the mail and back here by Monday, I think. Alright, that's pretty dry. Yeah, that's almost hot. I don't think they put Loctite on these fucking things. That'd be crazy if they did. I doubt it. All the other holes look really clean, so I think it's just rust. Because the damn thing was so fucking rusty. I'm pretty sure this one right here would probably come out really easy, but that's a good one. I'm gonna keep it in there. Alright. I'm gonna blast it right into the crack.
You are listening to WBFO and WBFO HD1 Buffalo.
And tighten this down a little more. That's my front one. That's pretty damn tight. And it's a 13. So
Very rainy and chilly, but not too chilly weekend. When you look at the
course.
previous week, we had
Pull it.
temperatures ranging from
I'm gonna watch it.
15 degrees at times.
Watch to see that the head of this is what's turning.
40 isn't too bad. That's where we've been this afternoon and early this evening. That's where we're going.
Yeah, it's starting to turn. All right. Ooh, I can see it bubbling. Yeah, I got it. All right. Whew. I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna wait till I get near the end. So it does work when it's not on an extremely rusted fucking nut or stud. And if you didn't have a broken vise, you could probably get your nuts back off. Get your nuts off. Oh boy. Yeah, baby. Next be another. I don't care how many nuts I have to sacrifice. Did I tell you guys that joke actually has a personal meaning to me because I had cancer and they cut one of them out? I don't care how many nuts I have to give to them. I'm going to get this bike running and it's going to be great. Yeah. I remember I was working on the second bike that I got, the one that was like my dream bike. I still got it at the Cafe Racer, and I had to wait a couple days till I had my surgery, and I took a few days off. My boss was like, yeah, take a few days off. And it was almost like I was working on the bike, you know, just in case I freaking didn't make it through the surgery, so it's pretty important for me to be doing this stuff. Oh shit. Alright, so I might lose another nut if I can't get this one off. God damn. Ugh. Jesus. It's a 13. Yeah, I want to see if I can crank down on it and have it hold it and my players hold it. Maybe that'll help. Ah, shit. Oh, yeah, I can clamp it. Ah. These are like the shittiest vice grips ever. Ah, yeah. Come on, give me my nut back. Nope. Nope. I want to save it. I don't care about the stud. That's not gonna hold it. Nope. God damn it. Alright. Bastard. Well, so there you go. Got the stud out. I gotta try to get this fucker back off there.